Lisa Tryon, and this is John Brown, my associate. We're Cogents. We've all used the Cogent management system all semester, so you're pretty familiar with our product. We're fixing it, we promise. Major problems with it are the loss of functionality that you're all suffering from, and also the fact that there's a lot of administrative overhead and a lot of waiting on all of our parts to receive our monies, as well as very low engagement because most of us didn't even really use the system at all until we came here. So from the start, it's broken. Mr. Burton has to create everybody's account, and when he does, they don't work at all. So we fixed that. Now students will be creating their account using their Purdue email, and this is great because that means their account login will be the same as their career account login, so they'll actually remember who they are, we hope. Cogent will actually be awarded when they create their account, which we didn't get, but we didn't have to create our accounts. Also, creating your own account will make you more aware that you have one. And we're also adding a new feature called badges. Basically, we're tracking certain activities that you do, like logging in or receiving Cogent successfully when you request it instead of getting disapproved for doing it wrong. We'll track how many you've done, and the administrator can set how many times you do it before you get a badge, and the badge comes with a Cogent award amount that, of course, the administrator sets. So if you forgot your password, too bad. Unless your administrator or know an administrator who will be kind to you, you cannot reset your password, you cannot look at your account, you are screwed. But we fixed that. This is the landing page that John created, and as you can see, here's where, sorry, I'm putting the wrong screen. Here's where you would register as well, and there's a drop down and a magical link called I forgot my password. So you put in your email, and it emails a temporary password to you, and you can either use that temporary password or magically remember your old password. Either one will work. So now we have logged in, and we're supposed to submit for Cogent, but we can't submit negative amounts, which seems kind of silly when we know that we're going to have to. And the only usable category is other, so why do we even have categories? Meanwhile, again, our overhead, the administrator has to manually approve every single submission, and that's really wasting a lot of time. So we're automating some of it. And we added 25 categories or so, which seems like a lot until you realize that some of these categories are going to be 411, 450 specific. So unless you're marked as a 411, 450 student, you won't even see it, it won't bother you. Meanwhile, we're going to include instructions. So when you pull it up in your drop-down, there will be instructions on the right, and you can read them and know that you're supposed to put 2 career fair attendances in, and we'll also fill in the Cogent amount that it's supposed to be for, because I know that there's some people that are like, is it 100, is it 1,000? I want 5 million. We wish, but it's not going to get that. So you put your submission in with a little bit more guidance, and that will be very nice. With the categories increasing, well, decreasing the overhead in some ways, the administrator is going to need more control over these categories. So they can set how many times it will be auto-approved. So, of course, the career fair attendance, that's 2. And for something like I have a job after I graduate, that would be 0, because he does not want to automatically approve that at all. He can also set the Cogent amount, do the description, set whether or not the activity is actually active or not, because last semester people were voting for the president and they were getting Cogent if they voted. And Obviously, we do not get to re-vote for the president this semester. So he also can set it specific to 411, 450 students. And because automation also puts kind of a barrier between his knowledge of what we're doing and what we're doing, we're adding a context page. So when he's going through and approving the small amount of work that he has to do, he can click the context link and see all the activity by the user in the same category. So if you're claiming, I've got 3 jobs this semester, and you really, really may have, but that's kind of something that he's going to want to look at a little bit more closely and see how many things that you've submitted. Maybe you submitted something twice because you weren't thinking and thought you hadn't submitted it. So context page can also show all activity by category and semester. Let's see. Controls allow, and the wrong way, sorry. So companies, again, more administrative overhead because he has to create each one, and obviously we can't pay our employees directly, which really has sucked. And we're fixing that again, so now students will be given a password in class. It'll be the same password for everybody, and they'll use that when they're logged in to create their companies. And of course, they'll be able to pay people immediately, and our technology that we are really using is responsive design, because, I mean, you're going to be testing wherever, we don't know, and so maybe you'll just want to use your phone to give somebody the cogent that you're paying them. Companies will also be able to post job announcements, so that provides more cogent earning opportunities for everybody, increases the value of visiting the site, and hopefully the next few years we'll see somebody adding in the ability for users to do this as well, but for now it's just going to be companies. And hopefully this means that, you know, sophomore, freshmen will be logging in a little bit more. Again, stock, broken. We don't like to have to write checks or make certificates or make them up for ourselves. So Mr. Burton doesn't end in a fiery fire pit in his office. No more paper turn-ins. Okay, so that's going to be fixed. He'll release the stock, then we'll delegate whether or not it's A or B, and then people will be able to buy the B. So there's also going to be a little bit to do in the exit interview, setting companies as inactive and setting people as graduated. And in the future, we're hoping more social features will be added, more hiring of outside help with Cogent, so people are using it earlier, and maybe even expanding this outside of our department. Thank you.
We moved.
I'm done.